Hello happy tribers, we are back trying to get into the homesteading after the events of last week. We're still trying to come to terms with it. It's been very difficult, especially for Ruth. She's not coping very well at the moment, but that's to be expected. He played a big part in our lives, and yeah, it was very sad. But I'm kind of feeling a bit lost without the camera in my hand, getting out on the property and doing things. So that's where I am, back out, trying to get back into the homesteading. As you guys know, I was trying to clear out the stables, then the rain came, and then yeah, all the other events. So I've got to get back in there, finish cleaning that. I'm just going to check on the veggies and see how the sprouts are all going. It's been a couple days since I've been down to check them out, and yeah, I've got so much to do. We went to the farmers markets this morning, bought a heap of produce. We just thought we'd get out of the house, have a little wander around. Also, I want to get more chicken fencing to put around those terrace beds and get that mobile chicken coop going. That's something hopefully I can try and build tomorrow, so if I have time, of course. Another interesting story was something had been breaking into the omelette chicken fencing down there where the chickens are. 4 nights in a row it had been happening, and I decided to borrow a little night vision camera, and the footage isn't the best, so I won't put it up, but I set it up, and of course I found out who was sneaking into the omelette chicken fencing, and of course it was Archie, our dog. He was the one going down there, busting in, and what he was actually doing, he wasn't getting the chickens, he was getting all the food scraps that we'd been tipping on the ground. Been having his dinner and then shooting down there at all different times of the night to go and get a bit of extra feed. So not sure how I'm going to stop that cheeky bugger, but anyway, here we are at the veggies. Actually looking pretty good, I'm happy. So these are the new sprouts. I literally did, I think that they were the capsicum seeds, but they're not really doing anything at the moment. This looks like it could be more onion, basil, that's going really well, that one. More coriander. Look at these pumpkin seeds. They're what I planted the other day, like probably a week ago I planted those pumpkin seeds. More coriander, more basil. They're taking off. That's a new one, so I can't remember what I put in that one. The lavender is not happening. I'm pretty sure that's the lavender. That's new, I just planted that the other day. It all needs a water. The beans are going off. I need to get that pool fencing back in there. Tomatoes, these are all new ones that have just been planted, so they'll take a couple days. More basil, onions. Yeah, this is another new one, so that's going to take a little bit. Pumpkins again. More pumpkins. It's funny, the pumpkins, oh, that's the actual seeds. Oh yeah. So the pumpkins are going really well. Oh, what have I got here? I cannot even remember what they are. I think they're beans of some description. I should have kept the list of what they actually were. Ruth will probably know what they are. We've done a few different types. So the pumpkin seeds that I used out of a pumpkin that we cooked with have taken off really good. Pumpkin's kind of like a weed, isn't it? Like you can plant it and it'll literally take over everything. Slowly coming back since the horse got into it. Yeah, look at the strawberry plant's going crazy. Something's actually getting in here at night. I think there's a field mouse getting around. Kale's starting to grow back after the cow and the horse ate it all. There's a big weed here. This needs to go. Well, that's in pretty good. I need to get my little shovel onto that one. So as you can see, the weeds are really coming through. I need to turn all this. So I'm actually pretty happy with the progress of everything at the moment. Can't wait to transfer all these seedlings into those terrace beds down there. I keep talking about it. It's on the list of things to do. I really need to get onto it. It's starting to warm up. Before I know it, it'll be into summer, and I actually want to fence it off down there because I've got to keep all these guys out. Horses, he's out again. The cow's around somewhere. Mini Moo. That heavy rain we have has of course put some water into my drum here. As you can see, it's not masses. It's nearly half full, or just under half full. So I'm going to use some of it to just top up this watering can. Use some of this just to sprinkle on top of the veggies. It's not masses of water, but it just even saves me power, because every time I turn that tap on, the pump comes on. So I'm quite happy. It's working well, as you can see, and it'll give me extra water to do my plants. The watering can that I found when I was cleaning out the old dairy / stables had no watering head on it, so just for now I've taken off a bottle cap. I've just punched a little hole in it. That was the bottle we used to use just to sprinkle on top of the seedling trays. Cody used to love doing it. I've just pushed this on there, it stays on, and it just slows down the water flow so I can water these seedling trays. It's perfect just to wet the top of the seedling trays without losing all the soil in there. Pretty good, eh? Pretty impressive. That's Jake.
Look, we need to
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to do. Go and get something to put that fence back and
get it climbed.
yeah, put it in the middle.
We've got these snow peas.
Yeah.
They're going crazy.
These are growing too.
Yeah.
Look at these.
Look, the tomatoes.
Look at these coats.
Tomatoes.
Look, more pumpkin.
More pumpkin.
And then look at these.
Wait, we need to sort this
Yeah, I am. Look.
Guys, this is not good.
Yeah, that's a tomato bush that needs to be
And then
staked.
this one needs to be, that one's been eaten.
Yeah.
This one, we've only got 2 out of that.
What do you reckon these are?
They are, they're snow peas. They're the big ones.
What's
The mammoth.
Two? What's day two, Mum?
That's probably pumpkin.
Maybe.
See these are the
What's
mammoth
this?
snow
What's
peas
this,
that we,
Mum? What's this, Mum?
that might be pumpkin as well, that we planted
What's this?
maybe
Maybe snow peas coats.
a week and a half
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
That's how quickly they've
Yeah.
grown, and they're organic, these ones. I'm excited to
Yeah.
get them
Then
happening.
Yeah, I need to get into those terraces.
We need to prepare the land a bit
I need to
more.
get the chicken fencing and build the mobile chicken coop.
Yes.
That's-
Around the
yeah.
patch and let them just dig
Yeah.
it up. But just here, look what I
you know-
found.
you know
I
what's in
found
there?
some mint.
You know what's in there?
Mint. What's in there?
Cucumber and zucchini.
Yummy! Cucumber zucchinis!
these are me zucchini.
So, this is mint. Look,
Mint.
smell that? Is it mint?
Yeah, it's mint.
It's mint. So we have all these little mints popping up here, almost like a weed, but definitely not a weed. Mint, and there was mint. I saw another mint in the other garden as well, but there's also all of these weeds that need to come out.
This.
That's a pumpkin. See that? That's the seed, the shell of the seed coming off. See
Yeah.
that? You could maybe help it. Do you want to help it? Pull it off very gently. That's it. Yay! Look at that. It's a plant. And that's just the shell. And over here is, I was telling you guys, another mint. I'm excited about that. And that's the nasturtium. And that's another mint. So the nasturtium's growing really well. That was the project nasturtium that we planted a little while ago, that was literally just a cutting out of the ground that we took and just dropped in the ground. And I wanted to prove to you guys and myself how easily it was to transplant nasturtiums. Like, they're so easy to grow. But what's really cool about nasturtiums for me, I think it just connects me to my mum. She loved growing nasturtiums, and also it brings in the bees, but it's just such an easy thing to grow, and you can actually eat them, which is really cool as well. So you can have them in salads and gourmet bits and bobs. So yeah, it's really cool. I love it. Okay, be very gentle with them. Something that I'm really passionate about is the whole permaculture side of things, like actually planting things with other things to help them grow better, and you know, it's the whole ecosystem of all the different plants. It's something that I really love. Spinach is looking good. Look at that. I could definitely harvest some of that. It's all happening. So for the spring garden, we are going to prep the land with the mobile chicken setup that we have, or that we're going to have shortly, and they will go in and just turn over the soil and bring in the nutrients with their poo and just make it really good soil. And then we go along and plant all of our seedlings. We've probably left our run a little late because we probably should have the chickens there already, and we probably should be planting in the next week or two. I'm not sure. We're total newbies, you guys know that, but we're just kind of winging it. we've been really caught up doing life at the moment, and that's been a bit of a struggle for us, but just with everything that's happening or happened. So we're doing the best we can, but we're hoping to get these guys in the soil in the next couple of weeks, and then I can't wait for our spring vegetables to come along and grow. What you doing?
Just gonna put this back in.
Yeah.
Need to block a timber so I can bring this down.
Oh yeah.
And then I can grow the beans up.
Yeah, so you've kind of fastened it a bit better there.
Yeah. I just need to scrap the timber.
There's just some timber there, or a log. And then we can grow the beans up and over that. Doesn't want to go in. So now we've got to train these beans to go up and over. Do you want to help Daddy do that, Coates? Help Daddy, look, see? Help Daddy put them up on there. You're here, I'm here, Dad. You're helping Dada.
That's fun. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. See what Daddy's doing with the beans? He's helping them grow up. What have you got? A flower! Oh, thank you, baby. You're so kind. Always bringing flowers for Mummy. And eating greens.
I've just staked the tomatoes. I've used some old, it's quite soft really, fishing line. It's hard to see on the camera. So I've threaded the tomato bush through, but Ruth has made a good point. It might be a bit harsh on the tomato bush. I'll see how I go. I've made a fair few like spacings, so it might be alright. I'll just have to keep my eye on it. Stressing out the tomato bush, I'll have to replace it with string. I think I might do that anyway, but I just don't have any string. But for now...
Now it looks like it's working. It'll keep them growing up instead of back down again.
So it goes up pretty high. It comes up to about here, as you can see.
Just give them enough height for strengthening them.
That'll be fine for the beans. The beans will go crazy on that. I've got a lot more of that.
It would have been better to do this for the beans, to be honest.
You reckon?
Yeah. The beans would love this. The tomatoes, maybe not. I see what you're trying to do here with like maybe suspending them, how they tie them up.
Yeah.
But like I think it'll work for now, but we might even end up transferring these tomatoes somewhere else and putting beans there, or I don't know, something like that, because this is a perfect setup for climbing beans.
I think you might be onto something, Ruth.
Who knows?
At least it might be hard.
We have a sleeper.
Sleeping baby, look.
Oh my goodness.
She loves the gardening.
Today's been a bit of a just flopping around in like...
I explained that we're just getting back out in the garden now. Still trying to come to terms with what happened, and it's been difficult.
Yeah, like we're not coping. I still spend a lot of time during the day crying, and just it's hard. It is really hard, but I think it's important to get outside and do things that feed your soul. And
definitely fixes it, getting outside in a way of it's just good to get out of the house and get some fresh air into you.
Yeah, so yeah, and I love being outside in nature, so it's really important to do that.
Did go to the farmers markets this morning, got some fresh produce. I think you
Did
might
you tell them what we got?
No, I didn't.
Okay, for $50, no, $100 I spent at the markets. Yeah. 100 Australian dollars, and I got 10 kilos of organic bananas, 2 kilos of organic sweet potato, a kilo of organic avocados, 3 yummy organic red papayas. I got organic spinach, organic curly kale, organic like the dinosaur kale. I got turmeric, ginger, a kilo, just over a kilo of blueberries, which Kokoda is excited about, and some spray-free broccoli. I think that's all we got, but like it feels like we got a lot of produce, and that was $100. I'm sure you could get it for cheaper at other farmers markets. Our farmers market is a little bit dear.
But a lot of it is organic, well, most of it. The bananas, it does sound like a lot of bananas, but what we do is we cut a lot of them up and freeze them, and then use them in smoothies and just to have banana natural banana ice cream.
And something that we used to do a lot of, and whilst we were traveling we just never could do that because we didn't have the setup for the blender all the time,
or the room,
the power or the storage, so we really miss doing that. So we're back on the track with that. And I'm excited because it makes you feel really healthy eating abundance of plant food.
And it's funny when there's 10 kilos of bananas on show, the kids always want to eat them, so it's really good. So we've got to check the compost. I haven't checked that for a little bit. I'm thinking it's nearly time for a bit of a turnover with the compost. I'm not sure how long you're meant to leave it, but what I'm actually planning on doing...
Can you do something for me?
What?
Can we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pallets
and make a compost? I've got to find where I can get some pallets from.
We need
But what I actually want to do with that wheelie bin is I can literally wheel it over to where the chickens are going to be roaming on the terrace beds, tip it out and let them just turn it over.
Spread it.
Yeah, spread it through and do their thing.
That's
kind of what I'm thinking.
We'll look into it a little bit more, but kind of like Justin Rhodes with his compost pile. Actually, really what we should do is look into... Justin Rhodes is amazing. The things he does, it's just...
he's pretty clever.
He's very clever and he knows his stuff. And one of the things he does is with he has 4 pallets and he stacks them all together, so it's a box. He like ropes them all together, and then they just put all their compost into that. And then when they're ready, when it's full, they unscrew it all and take away the pallets, and then essentially the chickens just go crazy on that pile of compost. So that's what maybe we should do that and set it up in somewhere around.
Well, I was collecting the cow poo and putting it near the compost bin. I wasn't putting it in, I was just putting it next. And the other day I went over and I was like, what has happened to this cow poo? And anyway, the neighbours' chickens have been coming over and then just going through it and
crazy.
Spreading it around and pretty much getting rid of it.
They love it. They love it so much. But
So I definitely need to get onto the mobile chicken coop. That's where we're going to end today's vlog.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for just being there for us and continually coming back to watch us and encouraging us to keep going, because that's a big thing. It's really helpful to have that encouragement and it means a lot to us, so thank you so much for that.
And
give the video a like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, don't forget to live, love and respect.
Bye.